What if your family kicked you out of your home and didn't care whether you lived or died until they needed you to complete a photo? For years, I was treated like background noise, ignored, dismissed, quietly erased. But when my parents handed my apartment over to their golden boy as a wedding gift, I vanished. No goodbyes, no forwarding address. Now, months later, they're desperate to bring me back, not out of love, but to impress their new wealthy in-laws. What happens when the forgotten daughter refuses to play along? This is a story of quiet revenge, found family, and the power of walking away for good. If you've ever felt invisible around the people who should have loved you the most, this story will hit deep. Stick around as we follow Sierra's bold decision to disappear, the fallout she never expected, and how she built a life that finally felt like home. Don't miss a second of it. 6 months. That's how long it's been since I vanished from Charlotte, North Carolina. No warning, no note, no dramatic announcement. I just left. And not a single person in my family noticed. No one asked why the birthday card they sent came back undelivered. Not that they remembered my birthday, they never do. But they sure as hell remembered when they needed my apartment. It started with a call from my father, Theodore Malone, master of cold logistics disguised as parenting. Damien and Isla are getting married, he said like it was an executive update. They need a place to start fresh. We're thinking your apartment would be perfect. You're barely using it, right? That apartment wasn't just mine. It was my one thing, left to me and Damien by Grandma Evelyn, but I was the only one who ever lived there. It wasn't fancy. 2 bedrooms, creaky pipes, a kitchen window that overlooked a dead oak. But it was mine. It was where I'd scraped together the pieces of my life after college. But suddenly, it was a starter home gift for my golden boy brother and his fiancée, Isela, the daughter of some wealthy banking family. They didn't ask if I had a plan. They didn't ask where I'd go. They didn't offer help or options. They just decided. And Damien, he texted me once, just once. Sorry, Sierra. This wasn't really my idea, but you'll land on your feet. You always do. That was it. That was all I was worth in the Malone household. A backup plan, a storage unit, an extra room for someone else's fairy tale. I didn't argue. I didn't scream. I just packed. June and Malik, my best friends since freshman year, showed up the night before I moved. We ordered cheap takeout, sat on the floor, surrounded by half-sealed boxes and bitterness I didn't know how to name. June looked around at the half-empty living room and asked softly, "You sure you're not going to tell them where you're going?" I taped another box shut. They didn't ask. She didn't argue after that. She didn't need to. The next morning, the sun blazed down on Charlotte like it was mid-July instead of early spring. Sweat clung to my back as we carried boxes down the stairs into the U-Haul. The building felt quieter than usual, like even the walls were holding their breath for me. As we closed the cargo door and secured the last strap, I stood on the curb for a moment and looked back at the building, not out of nostalgia, not out of sadness, out of relief. That apartment had held years of silence, birthdays missed, holidays alone, family texts that never came. But now I was reclaiming the silence for myself. The drive to Missoula, Montana took 3 days. The mountains opened up like a secret just for me. By the time I crossed the state line, something inside me had already begun to loosen. I found a small place tucked in the edge of the forest. Nothing fancy, nothing staged for Instagram. 1 bedroom, slightly outdated fixtures, but it had a balcony with a view of pine trees and the scent of rain in the morning. I furnished it with intention. I hung my own pictures. I placed my coffee mugs in the exact cabinet I wanted. No one told me where to live. No one told me what to give up. No one tried to take it from me. It was mine. And for the first time, I realized that was enough. No one called. No one asked where I went. And I didn't care until the phone rang 6 months later. The call came on a Wednesday. Late morning, I was editing a report for a cybersecurity breach in Colorado when my phone lit up. Theodore Malone. Not Dad. Not Father. Just his full name staring back at me like a line item on an invoice. I didn't answer. Not right away. I just stared at the screen, thumb hovering. 6 months of silence, and now this? It rang out, then started again. By the 4th time, I picked up. I don't know why. Curiosity, maybe? Or that little flicker of hope that always burns too long in daughters who were never really seen. Hello? My voice was dry, steady. His came through clipped and cold, like he was reading from a memo. You need to come home this weekend. No greeting, no how are you, just a command, like I was still 18 and waiting for a ride to practice. I can't, I said. You don't even know why I'm calling. I don't need to. There was a pause, sharp, disapproving. Damien and Isela are hosting their engagement dinner. Her parents are flying in from New York. They want to meet the whole family. They're very traditional. Ah, so there it was. This wasn't a reunion. It wasn't even an olive branch. It was a roll call. They didn't want me. They wanted a prop, a body in a dress to complete the family portrait. I wasn't invited, I said flatly. You are now. No. What do you mean, no? I pulled the blanket tighter around my shoulders and stared at the pine trees beyond my balcony. I mean exactly that. I won't be there. Another pause. Longer. Sharper. I could practically hear his jaw clench through the phone. This is important for your brother's future. These people are high profile. It'll reflect poorly on all of us if you don't show up. And there it was. Not me, not you. Just the optics. The brand. The curated image of the Malones that had no room for imperfection. Or for me. I moved to Montana 6 months ago. I said slowly, clearly. You didn't know, because you never asked. Why would this be different? You moved? His voice dropped, almost scandalized. Without telling your family? That's incredibly irresponsible. What's your address? I laughed, not out loud, not kindly. Just that hollow sort of laugh you make when the truth finally reveals itself as absurd. Do you even remember my last address? Silence. That's not the point, he snapped. It's exactly the point, I said. You're not asking because you care. You're asking because now it's inconvenient not to know. Sierra, this isn't how families operate. No, I said quietly, but it's exactly how ours does. Then I hung up. My hand didn't shake. My heart didn't pound. I just sat there, letting the silence fill the room again, warm and clean like sunlight on bare floors. The phone buzzed again 10 minutes later. Missed call, then another, then a text from him, then from my mother, then Damien. I didn't answer. The next morning, I woke up to 5 more messages. The tone had shifted. First reminders, don't forget about Damien's big day, then guilt. We raised you better than this. Then threats. If you don't come, there will be consequences. Like being cut off from a family that never really claimed me. I made tea, fed the cat from the neighbor who was out of town, then curled up on the couch and watched the snow fall over the trees. I didn't check my phone again until it buzzed with the name I always answered, Loretta Malone, my grandmother, my anchor, the only person in that whole family who ever saw me, not just what I could do. I picked up before the second ring. "Hi, sweetheart," she said, her voice soft and wise, like chamomile in old songs. "How's the air up there today?" "Cold," I smiled, "but clean. We talked about the lavender on my balcony, the soup I'd made last night, the deer that wandered past my driveway some mornings." Then she paused. "They asked me to call you." "I figured," I said, not angry, just tired. They didn't use those words, of course, but yes, let me guess. They want me to come back and play the part. She didn't answer right away. Then, "They're in a panic. Not because they miss you, but because Isa's parents are watching and asking questions." I felt something settle in me then, like dust after a long storm. So that's what finally made me matter. The gaze of strangers. "I'm not going, Grandma." "I know," she said gently. "I wouldn't either." And that's why I always picked up when she called. Because she never asked me to shrink, to fold, to disappear just to make someone else more comfortable. She knew I'd already done that for years. That call ended softly. No demands, just love. And when I put my phone down, I felt something I hadn't in years. Still. Free. Unapologetically whole. The morning after Grandma called, I woke to 12 unread messages. 4 from my mother, 3 from Damien, 5 from numbers I hadn't saved in years, family group threads that hadn't included me since 2017. One stood out, from my mother. "Sweetheart, this isn't like you. You've always been so respectful." I stared at it for a long time, like the words might rearrange themselves into something honest. This isn't like you. No, it was exactly like me. The me she never paid attention to, the me who kept her head down, stayed out of the way, made things easy. They were so used to my silence, they mistook it for obedience. "Your brother's counting on you." Isa's parents are formal people. "We need to show unity." That word again. Unity. A costume they only wore when there was an audience. I set the phone down and made coffee. French press. 2 sugars. Real cream. I watched the fog outside swirl through the pine branches like breath from a giant asleep. And I didn't respond. By noon, a voicemail landed. My mother again, her voice clipped and bright like fake laughter at a church potluck. "Sierra, don't be difficult. It's just one dinner. You don't even have to stay long. Smile, say a few words, and then disappear again. If that's what you want, disappear again, like I hadn't already been gone, like I hadn't already disappeared years ago. They'd just never cared enough to look." I almost replied, almost, but I didn't, because I remembered every dinner I spent in silence while Damien dominated the conversation. I remembered the time I came home with a black eye from field hockey and my mom said, "You should have ducked." I remembered Christmas mornings where my gifts were always practical. Socks, notebooks, discount gift cards, while Damien got designer shoes, a tablet, keys to a used car. I remembered being polite, respectful, good, and where it got me, that evening, Damien called. I was on the balcony, wrapped in a fleece throw, sipping hot cider, when his name lit up the screen. I let it ring. But he tried again, then again. By the third time, I picked up. "Sierra, what is going on with you?" His tone wasn't aggressive, just confused. Like I was the one behaving strangely. "I'm not coming to the dinner, Damien." "Why not? You're seriously holding a grudge." My eyes narrowed. "A grudge?" "Look, I don't know what's been happening with you and Mom and Dad, but can't you just show up?" For me? He sounded so genuine, it almost cracked something in me, almost. But then I remembered every time I'd sat alone on the bleachers while he got a crowd for every game. I remembered my science fair win where no one came to watch. I remembered turning 18 and him forgetting. So I said it. "You've been standing by while I was invisible for 29 years, Damien. I'm not doing this for you." I hung up. That night, my phone was silent until it was at 11:08 p.m. My father called. He didn't waste time with pleasantries. "If you don't show up to this wedding," he said coldly, "you're out of the will." I let that sit, let it echo across the stillness of my living room. "Okay," I said. He paused. I could hear it, the shuffle of disbelief, like I was supposed to beg. "You think I'm bluffing?" I stood, walked slowly to the window, and looked out into the dark. "I make more money than all of you combined," he inhaled, like I'd slapped him. "You? What?" "If you'd ever asked about my life," I said, calm and clear, "you'd know. I'm not bluffing." Silence. Then the line went dead. No one called after that. But the messages kept coming, like waves. First urgent, then desperate, then angry, then quiet again. I didn't respond. Instead, I opened a new tab on my laptop and pulled up a real estate listing I'd saved. 3-bedroom, cedar siding, a backyard with enough sun for tomatoes and thyme. I stared at it for a long time. Then I clicked bookmark, because I was done proving myself to people who only saw my worth when someone else started asking questions, because I was building something they could never take from me. Because this time, I wasn't going to disappear. I was going to live, on my terms, in my name. The wedding came, and I didn't. Instead, I spent that morning walking a trail just outside Missoula, boots crunching through the early spring leaves, breath clouding in the cool mountain air. The trees didn't ask where I was supposed to be. The wind didn't guilt me. The silence out there wasn't cold. It was earned. My phone buzzed once that afternoon. Loretta Malone. The only Malone I'd ever trusted. I answered before the second ring. "Hi, sweetheart," she said. Her voice was calm, but I could hear it, the tension underneath like piano wire pulled too tight. "You enjoying your mountaineer morning?" "Every second," I said truthfully. She exhaled slowly. "Well, the wedding happened." I waited. "It was tense," she said. "The kind of tension that looks polite on the outside, but makes your neck stiff just sitting in the same room. That kind." I could almost see it. Pressed suits, frozen smiles, champagne glasses clinking over carefully staged joy. "Your parents tried their best to act like everything was fine," Loretta continued. "But Mira couldn't stop fidgeting, and your father barely spoke. Isa's mother, what's her name again? Priya? She kept glancing around the room like she was waiting for someone. Me? Yes." I closed my eyes, let the weight of it land. Not bitterly, not with revenge. Just like justice arriving finally on its own time. She asked where you were, loud enough for people to hear. "What did they say?" Different versions. First that you were sick, then that work had called you away. Then something about a last-minute conference. None of it stuck. Of course not. Priya's not stupid, Loretta said. She pressed, asked why you hadn't been at the engagement party either, why she only learned you existed 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks. That's how long I'd mattered, as long as it was embarrassing not to. Apparently, Loretta said, her voice lowering, she had a private conversation with your mother after the rehearsal dinner. No one knows exactly what was said, but your mother came out of it pale and quiet. Think she got read like a book? More like a library, Loretta said. She chuckled, but there was something sharp under it. What about Damien? Distracted. Couldn't stop checking the door, never smiled for long. Isa looked upset through most of the ceremony. Cracks in the family portrait? Fractures, sweetheart. Not even subtle ones. I sat down at the kitchen table, the one I'd found on Craiglisted, and sanded myself. The one no Malone had ever sat at. I looked out at the afternoon light on the pine trees, warm and dappled like a blessing. They still think this is about a dinner party, I said. I know, Loretta replied, but Isa's parents saw it. They did, she said. The imbalance, the omissions, the damage. We talked another 10 minutes. About nothing, really. What color I might paint my front door, whether lavender or rosemary would survive better in Montana's climate. But the current under every word was the same. They noticed, and it mattered. When we hung up, I didn't feel triumphant. I didn't feel victorious. I felt seen. The next morning, I brewed coffee, stood barefoot by the sliding glass door, and watched deer nibble at the edge of my garden bed. And then the phone rang again. Loretta. They're still talking about it, she said, not even bothering to say what it was. Priya? Yes. Apparently, she asked Damien, directly this time, why you weren't involved. Why they never mentioned a sister. Why no one thought to include you sooner. And what did he say? He tried to downplay it at first, but I think even he's starting to realize this isn't going away. Good. Priya doesn't like being lied to, she added. And Isa, well, let's just say she's asking her own questions now. I looked down at the mug in my hand. It had a crack along the handle I hadn't noticed before. Small, barely visible, but there. Is the marriage already cracking? There's tension, the kind that doesn't go away with a honeymoon. I didn't want it to fall apart for him, but I didn't want it to be built on lies that had buried me either. They've started asking around, Loretta continued. Your parents want to know who might have your number, your address. They even asked me again. I paused. You didn't? Of course not, she snapped gently. I told them if you wanted to talk to them, you would. I breathed out slowly. Thank you. They're nervous, she said. Not just about you, about what Priya might say, what this might mean for Damien's future. They're trying to control the damage. They're not worried about me, I said. No, she replied softly. But they're starting to realize this doesn't just disappear. No, it doesn't. Because people remember the things you try to erase. Because silence echoes. Because absence burns. I looked around my tiny kitchen. Sunlight on the counters. Fresh thyme in a jar by the sink. Dishes drying on a handmade rack I'd bought from a local artist. This wasn't just a house. It was mine. They're the ones who disappeared, I said quietly. They just didn't notice until someone else did. Loretta didn't reply right away, but I could hear the pride in her silence, the kind that doesn't need to be said aloud. It came in a plain white envelope. No return address. just my name in stiff, blocky handwriting, my father's, written with the kind of forced neatness that thinks precision can erase history. I stood at the mailbox for a long time, envelope in hand, heart quiet. Not racing, not afraid, just done. I didn't open it, didn't need to. Whatever was inside, apology, excuse, or manipulation, it wasn't for me, it was for them, for their guilt, their image, their damage control. I walked to the fire pit in the backyard, struck a match, and watched the envelope curl, blacken, and fold into ash. Then I went back inside and signed the final paperwork on my laptop. The house was officially mine. My name on every page, no cosigner, no contingency, no inheritance. Just me. The same week, I changed my phone number. Only 4 people got the new one: June, Malik, Grandma Loretta, and my boss. That was enough. I didn't want accidental forgiveness. I didn't want more voicemails that began with "We raised you better" and ended with "We still love you." No, they didn't. They loved the idea of me, the version of me that didn't need anything, the version that stayed quiet and out of the way. But I wasn't her anymore. 6 months later, the backyard was alive with voices and laughter, the kind that doesn't hide tension in smiles, the kind that doesn't need scripts. Jasper was manning the grill like it was a science experiment. Tongs in one hand, beer in the other, face flushed with joy. Malik was DJing from his phone, shamelessly queuing up 90s R&B like we were back in college. June danced barefoot in the grass, holding a glass of sangria and yelling the lyrics wrong on purpose. The folding tables were overflowing with potluck dishes: noodle salad, spicy corn, peach cobbler, something suspiciously gelatinous labeled Aunt Pam's famous secret. A golden retriever from next door flopped at my feet, tongue lolling. Across the yard, Marin, my coworker's 6-year-old daughter, tugged on my sleeve and handed me a bracelet made from tangled string and plastic beads. "You're my aunt now," she said, seriously. "But the fun kind," I laughed. "I'll take that." And I meant it. Later, as twilight settled and the fairy lights blinked on, someone I barely knew, neighbor from 3 doors down, I think, sat beside me and asked gently, "Do you have family back east?" I didn't hesitate. Not anymore. There was a beat of silence, not awkward, just open. Then I smiled and nodded toward the yard, at Malik spilling lemonade on his shoes, at June belly laughing on a picnic blanket, at the kids chasing fireflies under a sky that didn't judge them. But I have this, and I meant that too. That night, after the chairs were folded and the dishes cleaned, I stood alone at the edge of the garden. The bracelet Marin gave me was still on my wrist. Fireflies blinked like soft applause across the fence. The house glowed behind me. Windows warm, air smelling like grilled peaches and lavender. It wasn't perfect. The porch steps still creaked. The faucet still groaned. I still had moments, quiet ones, where I wondered if I'd ever get an answer to that question, why wasn't I ever enough for them? But I didn't need it, because I finally knew the truth. They didn't lose me the day I left. They lost me the day they made it clear I didn't matter. They just didn't notice until someone else did. And now? I wasn't disappearing. I was building. I was becoming. Not someone's daughter, not someone's placeholder, just Sierra Malone, whole, seen, unapologetically home. In the end, this wasn't a story about revenge. It was a story about recognition, about choosing yourself when others won't. Sierra didn't need a dramatic confrontation or a perfect apology. She needed peace, freedom, and people who saw her without conditions. She found that not by returning to the place that broke her, but by building something of her own. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do isn't shouting to be heard, it's choosing silence, walking away, and letting your absence speak. Because being forgotten by the wrong people can lead you straight into the arms of the right ones.